Last Chance Qualifiers, the top 100 speedrunners fighting for the last 4 slots in the Global Speedrunning Playoffs. A tournament that I've played in 5 times, feeling better and better with each one, but I wasn't ready for what this season brought.
Seed 1 will be starting now. It is a buried treasure overworld. Good luck.
So this is the most nervous I've ever been in a speedrun, which is saying a lot because I've done a lot of speedruns. You might be thinking to yourself, wow, sitting there in anticipation, watching all 100 players load up, people that you've played, people that are better than you, about to compete against the best of the best in the world. And that's not even what made me nervous, bro. I was actually chilling, really, I was mad chillin' when this thing started. It's kind of funny. Usually with nerve stuff, you get less nervous as the thing goes on. Like usually the worst part is the build up to it. This was the opposite. And I think this is why it made for the worst nerves I've ever had. So it's a Desert Temple seed, right? But it's actually our 3rd world of the match because they accidentally messed up twice on the first 2. It was actually probably bad for nerves. We're sitting there for like 15 minutes waiting for the thing to start. They start a little bit late. We finally get everybody loaded into the world, and then it does an automatic draw vote for everybody a minute into the seed. So as we're getting into our flow, it's like, boom, cut, sorry, we messed something up. Let's start again. Let's play a different world, because we've already seen the world. So we play a shipwreck seed, and the exact same thing happens. So back to back, we just we think we're fully in it. We're like locked in, we're going, and then 60 seconds later, it's just totally cut off and they have to redo the seed. So this Desert Temple seed, this is the 3rd seed that we're playing in. But in my head, I'm not too worried about it. Honestly, I'm happy we're playing a Desert Temple seed rather than a shipwreck. I feel sometimes I just completely miss the ravine on shipwreck seeds. Desert Temples, I feel absolutely locked. And this seed in particular, I've just made this perfect line in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm going to grab the gravel here. I'm going to pick up my water. I'm going to go to the lava pool. And I end up being, I think, one of the first couple people in the Nether. And I think this is where the nerves sort of start, which is so dumb, bro. I think I got nervous because I was doing so well, and I got in my head of like, oh my gosh, I'm doing well. I could potentially get top 5 on this seed, and it starts choking. So see the advancements, those gray little things. That's the first person out of all 100 people to get the advancement, and I'm like milliseconds behind on the lava bucket seed. So I'm already in. I see a fortress to my right. The bastion is up here to my left. I'm not taking any crazy funky terrain. This is all pretty linear. I decide to push up here, which ends up paying off because it's housing and we got to loot top down first. I even do a nice little head hitter here, so clearly my mechanics could be good, but then there's like this kind of tricky jump that I gotta do here. Gotta get my gold in my bar. I messed that up a little bit. I'm just up really high where I shouldn't be, and I try to loot this chest, and it's just so bad. Look at this. The piglin gets in the hole with me. He doesn't hit me. I open a chest. This is where it starts going. This is where it starts going. Like the dirt is hitting the fan, man. It's going all over. My mechanics are all over the place. I start going down. It's not actually housing. I'm not in a triple, and I forget to grab the gold blocks. So in only 20 seconds, I've made about 5 critical mistakes, none of which are actually that punishing, but they feel and they look really bad. Getting in the hole with the piglin, not looting the chest properly, not realizing that it's stables, missing the gold blocks, messing up my movement. All of these things just happen rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. On the first real seed. And this starts getting me in my head. Because even though I haven't died, and I can still, I could technically win this seed. I'm definitely not out of the running. Those 5 things just completely destroyed my mental. And I don't even think I realized that it destroyed my mental in the beginning. Because it's not like it shattered the mental, and I couldn't play from there on out. But it sort of started this downwards trajectory of nerves taking over my entire brain. So like I said, we're in a stables gap. I forgot to mine some of the gold blocks, but it's probably fine because there should be enough gold blocks to get all the trades here, but it could have been punishing, So I'm worrying about that in my head while I'm trying to think about how I'm gonna leave this bastion. Do I need to get more obsidian? I've looted this chest. I got 8 obby. I'm trying to clear my inventory. Boom, we're up to 18 obby now. And this is really good for me. If you look in the top right, nobody's even entered the fortress yet, and I'm gonna be on my way. I know I'm gonna be one of the first couple to do it. I decided to take this right terrain here. Maybe I could have gone left. This is probably fine. I have good stuff. Rannick just enters the fortress about 4:05, so I'm gonna be maybe 10 seconds behind the leader of this pack, which is very, very solid. It's so funny, because like, just statistically, I'm just in a really good spot right now. And it's just a cherry on top with that pearl. That's one of the most beautiful pearls I've ever thrown. So if you were just watching this footage, you might be like, wow, this guy's cooking. He's on luck. But that's what I started to think. I started thinking, oh my gosh, I'm doing well. Like, I could do really well on this good seed. Holy crap, that could be really good. Don't mess up now. Don't screw up. You really focus on. And all I'm doing, I'm like trying to focus, but really what my brain is doing is like having this conversation of focus up, focus up. And in reality, I'm not focusing because I'm telling myself to focus. You know what I mean? It's so bad. Thankfully, there's nothing mechanically insane that I need to do here. I literally just have to kill some blazes, play some soul sand. I've done this hundreds of times. And in tournaments like this, I think you probably have to expect to just be nervous, and you gotta play through the nerves, and nerves will probably get better. But I start messing up my crafting a little bit here. I was really in my head with like, all right, I gotta have the search crafting unlocked. I make like 2 typos or whatever, but I still get the crafting done in a totally reasonable amount of time. This is where the real first bad part of the run starts to come into play. As I'm building my portal here, I hear a ghast shoot a fireball, and I'm like, that's fine. I'll just like lower my render distance. Oh, I didn't lower it quick enough, so it like blew up the portal. Let me try and fix that. Oh, it blew up the portal again, so now I've wasted 6 seconds on just portal animations. I'm through the portal, but all of these small things that have been building up leads to why I didn't even complete this run. I measure one eye, I don't get a good reading. It's 98%, and I'm like, okay, I should throw another eye just so that like the 2% chance. I also had a high error value, so let me throw another eye. Boom, I measure it. Okay, so we got 100% now. But my errors are like really high, so like maybe I need to throw a third eye. So I decide to throw a third eye. I totally redo all of my measurements, and I get 100% with a decent error message, and I'm like, okay, this is probably the right stronghold. Spoiler alert, it wasn't even the right stronghold. So not only do I waste 10 seconds measuring eyes that I don't need to, because that first set of coordinates, it was correct. From throwing 3 Eyes of Ender, I don't even get the measurements right, and that is just the entire seed right there. So not only do I go further than everybody else because I have the wrong set of the coordinates, I miss, and this is where the mental just like kind of implodes on itself. You know, it's one thing to lose a seed to dying to some crazy situation or forgetting to eat. It's another thing entirely to just mess up something that you should never mess up. And that's match 1. This tournament is multiple seeds though, so it's not entirely over, and I always play with the intention I can always do really well on this next seed. There's no reason I can't. Just because you make a mistake on the first seed does not mean you're gonna make and I make a mistake on the second seed. This was actually a really nice clutch. I didn't take as much fall damage as like I probably should have. But the Piglin steals the gold block there, and so this seed also not the cleanest, but if we fast forward, I'm actually entering the end, and only one person has completed the seed so far. So like, honestly, I played the seed pretty solidly. We're entering at 8-10, that's very respectable. This should give you points on the board in virtually every single situation, as long as you don't mess up the 0. And I completely choked the 0. Not only do I build to the wrong coordinates, but I also explode a bed way too late. My recovery double bed doesn't do the damage it should. And I'm thinking, crap. I have 6 explosives. I only have 3 now. 2 now. I really have to clutch up with this anchor. So I wait an extra rotation, and it does amazing damage. I have another one. The dragon is in prime real estate. Boom. Really solid damage, but the dragon isn't dead yet. I have to shoot this crystal, and then it's over. I die as Mr. Budgie takes 5th place. So even though there's time left, like the speedrun only ends when half the people complete the match, I know I can't go and beat the dragon in 2 minutes. And so I don't even try. I literally build a house, and I think this is the first time ever in a tournament that I haven't just like run it back, even though I know I'm gonna lose. I kind of just accept my fate, and I'm thinking, crap, bro. First 2 seeds back to back, I choke. The third seed, I don't really want to talk about, to be honest, but for the sake of clarity and documenting, because this is just one of my worst performances ever, I just can't for the life of me kill a cow and not have it go into the water. I spend maybe like a minute trying to get these cows. Like, look at that. Somebody's already in the nether at 30 seconds. I haven't even finished killing cows. It's just a train wreck all over the place. Not only do I do that, I craft 20 buttons. So I waste half of my wood just crafting into buttons. And it's just like, it's kind of over. I think I get 1 steak out of all 4 cows or something that I kill. So even though mentally I'm still like, all right, gotta lock in, I can still play well on this seed. This is the first seed that I actually play poorly at the beginning. You know, we could talk about the fact that my axe breaks, that I have to punch a chest, the fact that I get down to half a heart, maybe the other chest that I have to punch with my fist, but I'm still fighting. It's not even 7 minutes. I've blinded with most of my eyes. I have to get points on the board here. If I get no points, I'm out of the tournament. So I go for a hunger reset, and I just forget to right-click the bed, and I get teleported back to spawn. So, like, I don't know, man. In an ideal world, I would be able to make this cool cinematic video where I clutch up and I get some points and I do well in this tournament. You know, that's how I did last season. You know, I was pretty happy with my performance last season, even though I choked some stuff. It was just kind of bad, and, you know, I was debating making a video, but I think it's just good clarity. I kind of sat on my beanbag, and just stayed there for 10 or 20 minutes. I didn't cry or anything. This season, I wasn't nearly as invested as the other seasons, and I think that's a big reason of why I just didn't play well. I just wasn't playing as much as I should have. I've been focused on the lifesteal stuff recently, and like, if I want to do good next season, like, it can't just be, all right, I really want to do well, I'm gonna do well here. It has to be, I've put in the hours, I'm prepared right now, I feel warmed up, let's freaking go. Because I think I do generally have the skills to at least do well in these types of tournaments, but I just need to get those hours under my belt and just really put myself in a position where I can. Frick, dude, I don't like making Debbie Downer type videos. It's just so lame, you know? Do people really want to sit here and watch me like just suck at the game? I don't know, maybe. I'm gonna keep playing ranked. Congrats to everybody who made it through the tournament. NHB, HDMI cables, Steez, Sky Crabs. It's really hard to get through this tournament, so huge congrats. I wish you guys the best of lucks in playoffs next weekend that I'm going to be commentating, so if you want to watch that, go to Feinberg's Twitch channel. And yeah, I took a little break because the mental was destroyed, but I feel good. I'm going to keep playing ranked. I've been having fun and proven, and life is just overall good. Like, go outside, eat well, sleep well. I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope you guys have a freaking awesome day, and I will talk to you later. Peace.